going to move on to the reading side of things. Without reading, I would not be here in front of you. Reading is where everything is stemmed from. Books is where this is stemmed from. My number one goal, like I mentioned in my vlogging category, is I want to read more diversely. I don't mean exactly what the Read Diversely campaign is talking about, in terms of by authors of people of color, but I totally want to do that too. What I really want to do is read more diversely in terms of genre, because I've kind of fenced myself into this little neat box of complexity with what my reading style. And I really want to branch out to new genres, historical fiction and nonfiction and adult works of literature and poetry, and I really want to expose myself to this new quality of literature, because every single book that I've read that is unlike the majority of what I've read this year has been different and given me a new perspective. With that being said, I would like to read one neoclassic or nonfiction per month. That is not going to be hard to do. I already own a few of those. I requested them for the holidays. I got Not That Kind of Girl, Yes Please, Bossy Pants, Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me, for the nonfiction side. And for the neoclassic side, I read, it's actually still here, but I read Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes for school. And the first 50 pages killed me, but at the end of it, I utterly respected and understood why the author dragged things out in some places and made it seem boring. For a young reader like myself who is used to things going bam, 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 legend, Percy Jackson pace, I really want to test myself to see how patient I can be. This might be quite a lofty goal, but I think I can do it, and that is finish 20 series. And when I say that, I mean either read the rest of the books of a series that I read part of and finish the rest of the books in that, or just start a completely new series. And with mentioning that, I also want to marathon at least one series per month, because there are so many of them out there and they keep getting published, they keep coming. And I would honestly, by the end of 2015, like to reduce that TBR pile a little bit, though we know it'll always grow, and just see what I can read, and maybe even there'll be an adult series in there. Maybe I will even tackle Outlander, though it's like 10 books long. And The Mortal Instruments, the series I want to read for 2015. That'll be a new video. I'm gonna shop now. What I'd also like to do is reread some of my favorite books. I have a whole discussion on this about how I don't like rereading books because it holds me back from the books that I can read now that are new and exciting and fresh, or even old ones. I really don't see any reason why I should do this, because if I want to reread my favorite book, dive into this world that I know already so well, and I can pick up new things, why shouldn't I? And I've got a whole list of them, like the Hunger Games trilogy, the Underland Chronicles, the Legend trilogy. I would seriously like to relive these adventures and see if they actually are as good the second time around. Now we are going on to the writing side of things, and this is the most tenuous, you should not trust a on this category, because writing in terms of making it a serious hobby is something that I haven't really considered in terms of putting in the time as a teenager to just write every day and get things down. With that being said, I would seriously like to revise the 50,000 words I wrote for NaNoWriMo in 2014 for this novel I am temporarily calling Reflective Parallels. I will link in the doobly-doo my whole update vlog on that, because that's like 16 minutes long, informing you on the whole details for that. And my plan for now, of course, it will probably most likely change, is to revise it, and then for the April Camp NaNoWriMo to finish the rest of it. So that means maybe not even reaching another 50,000 words, but knowing what I'm going to write and writing the rest of this novel. So I can say by this age that I have written an entire novel, which is an amazing accomplishment, according to me. Anyways, I would also like to win NaNoWriMo 2 times this year, or write 50,000 words in a month, whatever it is, be in Camp NaNoWriMo or NaNoWriMo itself, or maybe even I could just have a really good month in the summertime and write my heart out for 50,000 words. And I would also like to write 5,000 words per week. That's not much. In some NaNoWriMo days, I wrote 5,000 words in one day, and then I could literally write on Sunday and be cool until the next Sunday, though if I got into that writing flow, I'm pretty sure that the juices would flow better and I'd want to write more often. After doing the math, I've calculated that that would equal 250,000 words by the end of 2015. And if I could do that, even if they're the most crappiest words in the world, I will quote Jessica Brody and say, crap makes good fertilizer. So that means that if I at least get these words and ideas down, I will have a basis for stories that have been going on in my head. I've been trying to make these goals and resolutions things that I can control, but this one's not so much, but I kind of can. It'll make more sense. But I want to participate in writing workshops, as in with real people, because if you ask a writer if they're good, they will probably say yes out of having an ego. But when you're put into critique groups, it is tough. And with people just like you get to see exactly who you want to be and what kind of person you want to be. And I'm already actually signed up for a 10-week kind of course that I'm so excited about, Young Writers Program, and I am so psyched for it. And I hope after that it will lead me to more connections or more courses like it that will just help me on this path and give me outside help, because most of the time I've been sticking to the internet and my head. So real people have to interact. And lastly, this is the life portion of resolutions, and this is where I'm going to kind of get sappy on you. My number one life goal for 2015 and for overall with my entire life is to live. I want to live and experience life 2015 and obviously afterwards. I'm not going to go into things. There are plenty of blog posts that I can link in the doobly-doo for you. I would consider that I did not spend 2014 the way I wanted to. There was a lot going on in my personal life and I let it get the best of me. And I just don't want to do that in 2015. I want to establish and discover who I am. And when I say that, I want to explore and experience new things. And like Amy Poehler says, yes please. What I want to learn in 2015 is how to say yes. I obviously know how to say the word yes, I just said it. But I mean more of in those iffy experiences where they're optional and your parents don't make you, where you're given a choice to do this or that, and most often you choose this because it's what you're comfortable with and what you've been adjusted to. But when you choose that, it's a new experience, and if you hate it, you don't have to do it again. And I mean this in every aspect. Like, I had to go to a church youth group. I did not like that, but I did try it once. And I just want to say yes to things like that more often, whether it's a church youth group, a Young Writers Program, or just even hanging out with my friends instead of reading a book, because apparently networking is a good thing. I just want to get out there, and I want to make a name for myself, either in writing or in real life. So I would also like to work out 4 times a week. This one's probably not going to work either. But if you don't know this, I am a long distance runner. And what I do to supplement that is I swim and I do stationary bicycle, as well as strength training at my local YMCA, which is awesome. And I'd really like to be in shape. 2014, same reasons aforementioned, was not the best for me in terms of working out. But I intend to reclaim my title, and I'm looking forward to getting back into running. And hopefully maybe even doing a vlog or 2 of a race, because that would be so much fun. This one's a bit out of the blue, but I want to learn basic coding. We're doing this careers project in ELA, and it's about trying to figure out what you want to do, what you want to be, what kind of degree to get, where you want to go. Something that's very interesting is that software design and development is one of the most big upcoming fields, as in over 1 million extra jobs in projection. I just want to learn basic HTML, Scratch code, Java, just whatever there is out there. I want to have a basic understanding of it and see if it's right for me, because while I'm waiting for a famous published writer, I might want to have a day job. Something I also discovered this year was that I love photography. I've always had this uncanny fondness for setting up pictures and taking them, but I've been doing photography in my art class at school lately, and it's opened my eyes up, and it's been so much fun. And I would really like to work more on that, maybe even become like a mini Sasha Alsberg. I would also like to do a mini kind of series or pilot or just some kind of episode where it's scripted, I have to work it all out, get an actor, or do it all myself like Christine. This is gonna sound weird, but I want to get a B average in French. B's are not my best friends. A pluses are. But I came from my old school, which did not teach any languages, and I was dumped in the very middle of the year in a French class. And all these kids have had around 3 years prior experience to me. And for someone like me who has never taken French before, I want to have a basic B. So I want to work my butt off during the break and obviously after that to get a B. And I want to just hold my own and show myself that I actually can motivate myself to teach myself a new language. So I'll probably have to cut this up and film some more intros and outros, but whatevs. And yes, I do own clothes that are not my Camp Jupiter sweatshirt, because I've worn that in pretty much every single one of my last videos. Ugh.